Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Paneer and Pancakes, the podcast where I, Varuni Joshi, an Indian teen in the USA, share the highs and lows of high school life and dual cultures. So grab a snack, get comfy, and let's dive right in. So today's episode is about social media. Wow. But specifically, it's about social media and overconsumption and like the link between the two, basically. So, as high schoolers and teenagers, we're surrounded by social media. I mean, all the time. You see it in classes and in the hallways and when you're hanging out with your friends. And the whole idea today has become that it's okay to just scroll whenever you want. Which, I mean, there's no hate because that probably is a genuine stress buster for some people. But during a lesson, okay, like personally, speaking as a brown kid, I think I'm conditioned to pay attention to a teacher. Maybe I'm just living up to the stereotype, but I don't know, maybe not, because I've been in probably hundreds of classes with a teacher up there talking, literally teaching, giving notes, and everyone is just on their phones, scrolling, swiping with their AirPods. And the teachers have had to fight back, I would say, unnecessarily hard on this. Like, we have to put our phones up in little phone jails now, like the phone caddies, and take your AirPods out and, put your phones out of sight. And like, it's like becomes this like whole like thing where like every single day it's like, put your phones up, which, okay, it probably does make the teacher feel like students are, paying attention. But sometimes the phones and social media, they can be a little too like villainized in teen lives. So, yeah, they probably do distract from school and homework. But again, speaking from my perspective, I'm a teenager. And at least for me, my phone does go away when class starts. My AirPods are taken out and I do pay attention. So then when the lesson is over and my homework is finished and the teacher isn't teaching, I'm still not allowed to have my phone. Like, what? And then, like, again, what about like when the teacher is at their desk on their phone? Like it or not, the phones have become integrated in day-to-day life, and that includes students as well. Our teachers even use them to like sign into the smart boards now. Like, in one of my classes, we do attendance with a QR code. Like, no joke, we walk in, scan the QR code, and sign in with our attendance. And like, and we're encouraged to like take pictures of the homework assignment so we don't forget. Take a picture of this slide because you need to study it later. And still, even though we're encouraged to do all of this and we are using the phones during class and whatever, the phones are still villainized by the school. So I guess, yeah, the whole hate from teachers against like social media and the attention span reducing and the mental health issues, especially, probably does have some truth to it, or, does have some truth to it, not probably. But I'm not sure it's fair to just take the phones away, like totally. Like, especially since in 3 or 4 years, we're not going to be in high school. We're going to be in college. And the professors are not going to be taking up our phones. Like, we're just going to be expected to deal with it ourselves and manage like our own attention, like whether you're paying attention or not. So, yeah, that's my little spiel about social media and phones at school. And I'm not going to get into the mental health part of social media today, at least. So let's, talk about what we're actually here for, overconsumption, which I guess in some ways does tie into the constant presence of phones and social media at school. Okay, so look, without directly considering the effect of the phones and social media at school or on like homework and studying or even on like mental health, it's fun, right? It's fun to like watch like halls and get ready with me's and like dances and lip syncs, and it feels like a community, right? It's just another way to communicate. And obviously I know there are so many other facets of social media, like bullying, hate, all the mental health issues that can come along with it, and all the negatives I just mentioned. And I'm not trying to gloss over them at all. They're important, but I'm just pointing out that at its core, before you add in anything negative, social media is supposed to be entertaining, right? And so it is for the most part. The content that we see nowadays is so casual, but so heavily influenced. I mean, we literally have influencers talking about this product and that product and their PR packages, and it's fair. They do say that, oh, this is PR, this has not been purchased, but it's still being promoted to us, right? Why else are you opening it on camera? And now every new product is shown so widely on the internet. And as high schoolers and teenagers, trend culture has become so intense, and it feels like everyone is so susceptible to it. Like it's the whole this new thing and that new thing, and suddenly this is so trendy. And I suppose the whole root of trend culture does come from popularity and just wanting to be popular or considered popular. So, yeah, I guess wanting to be well known and well liked isn't a crime, but there's a whole other aspect when it's taken too far. And I think that right there is where overconsumption really starts. So, overconsumption is literally defined as the act or faction. Oh my God, okay. The action or fact, okay. The action or fact of consuming something to excess. So, an example really quickly. The Stanleys. Why did I say it like that? Now I'm picturing Stanley's like in my head, like as a 1950s sitcom with some like funky intro music, and it's like about a family of Stanley cups. And now I'm just questioning my life choices for saying the word funky. So let's just pretend that did not happen. So anyway, the Stanleys, right? I am not going to try and dissect this because I don't even know when they started and when they ended, question mark, because apparently they have ended. But I think suddenly like last October, I think, is when it all started. And then everyone got them for Christmas, and suddenly everyone had like the 32-ounce tumbler that doesn't even fit in your backpack pocket. And then it became this like epidemic of Stanleys. Like everyone and their mother, no, literally everyone and their mother had a Stanley. Wow, I was just saying it like that, and it worked out so well, guys. So yeah, that's your little lesson today on just saying whatever you want. And yeah, so anyway, it wasn't just the Stanley, right? It was like the whole package, the straws, the cups, the little straw covers with like, you know, the different designs. Like I've seen like leaves and flowers, and I think I saw a butterfly once. But anyway, and then there's also like keychains, right? And there were like the bags for the Stanleys. And it feels like what, like 10 months ago, not even 10 months ago. Yeah, like 10, whatever, that X amount of months, school and social media was like littered with Stanleys. And I come back to school this August. I'm like ready to face this like whole epidemic, and they're gone. It's literally crazy. It's like, how do I even describe this? It's like High Noon in one of those like cowboy movies with like the tumbleweeds and like the dramatic music where like the fight is just about to happen or whatever, and there's like no one there. That's what it's like. There's literally nothing. I've had like 3 Stanley spottings, I think, and it's like the 3rd week of school. I am shocked. Like, but the real question is, where do they all go? I mean, like, yeah, like, has anyone questioned this? People were buying like 10 Stanleys and like displaying them and like showing them off and like talking about them, and now they're just gone. Like, have we like looked into this? Have we like checked basements, attics, storage units, junk drawers, if you can fit one in a junk drawer? Like, where are they? And now suddenly the new thing is awalas, okay? And I gotta say, those are cute. Okay, I'm just a teenage girl. I am not immune. And the like the pink awala, I can't remember what it's called. Like that was cute. Like strawberry something. Does anyone know what I'm talking about, or am I just making this up? No, right? That exists, right? Like it was like baby pink. Okay, I'm getting sidetracked. So anyway, the whole point of this tangent was to show how quickly the tide turns, right? Like what was popular a few months ago is not anymore. Like the Air Forces, for example. Like, again, no hate. I have Air Forces too. I have like white ones with a pink swoosh. But anyway, Air Forces were super popular, and now suddenly it's the Sambas. And okay, I gotta say, I'm not a fan of the Sambas. Maybe I just haven't found a color I like yet or something, but I don't even know if you care about my opinion. But now you have it, so good for you. So basically what I'm trying to say is that trend culture is fun to participate in, but not when it's over the top and you're swallowed by the idea of literally always being on trend. And then again, going back to influencers, they show like 25 new lip glosses that are linked in my bio. Like, you don't need that many. Especially, I think, seeing it through the eyes of an Indian kid, like specifically, there is no way I'm going to have 25 lip glosses anytime soon. Like, I probably won't have like 25 in my whole lifetime. Like, now that I'm thinking about it, like 25 lip glosses, like, anyway, like, I don't know, maybe we're just taught to be like mindful of like what you use, right? Like, don't be stingy, but like just be aware that you don't need like that much. Like, everything in moderation, right? And then there's influencers showing this like lifestyle online where they're just being gifted things through PR, and it's like fueling overconsumption for the average viewer. And I'm not going to like sidetrack and go into a tangent about the environment, but to put it simply, overconsumption is not good for Mother Nature either. So yeah, now you know. Yeah, so social media is definitely fueling trend culture, right? And social media also fuels overconsumption. But now it feels like overconsumption in itself has become a trend. Like it's cool to have way too much of the same thing. And like that's really the key point I've been trying to get at with all this extra yapping, that consuming excessive amounts of quote unquote trendy things is trendy. How many times have I said trendy today? Someone do a word count of the amount of times I said trendy today. Like I feel like I've said it like a million times. So yeah, basically it's like consumerism gone wild. And like specifically coming back to like the high school part of it, like the Stanleys were only one example. And it's definitely like occurring with like so many different like products, like shoes, clothes, fashion. I mean, like I could go on and on. School supplies, even like school supplies, like you would be surprised, like overconsumption in school supplies is insane. So yeah, basically if you ask me, it's not even social media fueling trend culture that's the problem anymore. It's that we've overhyped the idea of overconsumption and made that trendy and romanticized it. Even like it's so like, wow, like that's so fun to like, be like so like over consuming like everything. And then there's like the new trend of underconsumption, which I mean, who knows if that'll even last. And okay, so if you didn't know, the underconsumption core trend thing is basically like trying to debunk the overconsumption lifestyle by just like proving that not everyone lives like that. Which again makes me question whether that's hypocritical, because I mean when overconsumption was trending, that was everyone's lifestyle. Every single person was like, wow, like organized my, I don't even know, with like my 300 pens and whatever. And now suddenly everyone's living perfectly normally. And also, might I just add, underconsumption core is literally just regular consumption that we are disguising as underconsumption because the internet has forgotten what normal consumption looks like due to overconsumption, or like the whole overconsumption becoming a trend. Trendy and overconsumption. Those are the two words I need a word count on. Like, this is ridiculous. I feel like that's all I've been saying. So yeah, that pretty much wraps up my very, very long thoughts and tangents and sidetracks and opinions about social media, phones, trend culture, overconsumption. Like, what else did I talk about? Yeah, and like how all of this like affects teenagers and high schoolers today, because it is real. It is affecting us. And in case you were wondering, there you go. That is it is happening. So yeah, thanks for listening to today's kind of rambly episode of Paneer and Pancakes, where we explore the unique journey of a dual culture teen. So don't forget to subscribe and review us on Spotify and YouTube, and follow us on Instagram for updates and more content. That is at Paneer and Pancakes everywhere. So thanks for tuning in today, and I will catch you in the next episode. Bye.